So, hi Vytheeshwaran, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm absolutely great. So, thank you so much for taking out your time for joining us for this interview, and congratulations on winning the award for the in the Education 2.0. And it would be lovely if you could please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Absolutely. Thank you. So I'm Vytheeshwaran Vedagiri. I'm Vice Principal Learning Consultant at Vylearn. So Vylearn is involved in learning consulting, instructional design, development, and training delivery. So we are essentially in the business of training design, development, and training delivery.
Okay, that's great. And how do you think you have contributed to the education industry?
So especially during the last 2.5 years when we've been down with the pandemic, one of the key areas that I've been working on is coming up with innovative teaching and training methodologies that is really going to help people to transition from the uh, in person classrooms to the virtual session and moving the workforce itself to the virtual world. And now that offices and schools and colleges are reopening, people are now coming back to classrooms, yes, but they are now coming back with a different perspective of a classroom. They are now coming back to a transformed classroom where they are having higher expectations, and the way in which they approach learning has been completely changed over the past 2 years. So how do we address the modern classroom? How do we address our modern and transformed learners and make sure that we keep the learning engaging and sustainable in today's ecosystem? So this is something that I have been passionately working on. And apart from that, from my country's perspective in India, I have been over the last 2 years, I have been upskilling a lot of trainers and teachers in using digital tools and digital technologies to bridge that digital divide between the teachers and the learners, to make sure that the learning process is really seamless and effective for everyone.
That's really fantastic. That's a really great contribution to the education industry. And I would like to know, like, how do you feel about winning this award?
I think it feels really good because I heard that it was some of the people who attended my programs over the last 2 years have pushed my name for this award, and I'm really thankful for that. But I think more than these awards, I think it's really for us as a collaborative and as a collective that we should move forward together. Because one of the things that I really enjoyed being part of the Education 2.0 conference is the collectiveness that was there, and with so many people having real passion to take things forward in the education sector and to make sure that we enter into these new unknown territories, holding hands together to make sure that it is not one person's success, it is a collective success for everyone. So that's the message that I actually felt was quite evident in the conference. And to be recognized for my contribution in such a august gathering, it really feels good, and I'd like to thank you for that.
Yeah, it was an honor for us as well. And we really hope that you attend our future conferences as well. And uh,
Absolutely.
we would love to know, like, how can we contact you? Where can we find your contact details?
Absolutely. So you can reach me at my website is at vylearn.com. It's vylearn.com. Or you can write to me at vvaidishwaran at vylearn.com. And I'm, of course, on all social medias. And I also host a learning and development podcast on YouTube that's called the Empathic Designer Podcast. So I post regular videos of my thoughts on learning and development and some of the recent trends that's there in the L&D industry. So you can find me anywhere, any one of these places, and I always would love to have a good conversation on learning and development over a cup of coffee.
Oh, that's really great. That's really great. And can you please say again your YouTube post?
Yeah.
podcast?
My YouTube podcast is called the Empathic Designer Podcast.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Thank you so much for joining for us for this interview, and we look forward in meeting you for the next conference. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Looking forward to. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.